All right, let's talk about something we all think we have a handle on, emotional stability. But what if I told you that our common definition, the one we're all kind of aiming for, is, well, maybe missing the point entirely? Today we're going to dig into the work of Shyamala Tan to explore why true stability might be something completely different. So let's start with what most of us believe.
Yeah, this sounds about right, doesn't it? I mean, you see that person who never seems to get rattled, who stays cool as a cucumber under pressure, and you think, yep, that's it. That's the goal. We've been taught to see that kind of stillness as a sign of maturity, of really having your life together. The less you react, the more stable you must be.
But hang on a second. Is that really the end game for our emotional lives? To just not react? To get so unbothered that nothing can touch us anymore? Well, Shyamala Tan's work suggests there's a much deeper and honestly a much more powerful truth waiting for us.
So why do we get this so mixed up? You know, it usually comes from a really understandable place. If you've ever been in the trenches with overwhelming anxiety or anger that just boils over, then feeling less of that intensity feels like a huge win. It's a relief. That quiet, that calm, it's like a welcome vacation for your nervous system. So it's super easy to think that the quiet itself is stability.
And this, right here, is the absolute crux of the issue. When not reacting becomes the main goal, we can accidentally switch from a healthy focus, like learning to feel our emotions safely, to a very different one, learning not to feel them at all. That outward calm can actually be hiding a massive internal effort to control and contain everything.
Okay, so this brings us to a super critical distinction. From the outside, emotional regulation and emotional suppression can look identical. Seriously, both can lead to someone looking composed and not having big outward reactions. But what's happening on the inside? Well, they are worlds apart.
Let's break this down because this is huge. Suppression is all about tension. It's an active, constant effort to push feelings down, to hold them back, and that actually shrinks your emotional world. Regulation, on the other hand, is about creating space. It's allowing a feeling to show up, to exist, and to move through you without hijacking the whole system. Think of it this way. Suppression is like building a dam. The pressure just builds and builds. Regulation is like widening the riverbed. The water still flows, but it has more room to move without flooding everything. One is pressure, the other is flow.
So why does this all matter so much? What's the big deal? Well, it's because relying on that push-it-down method, it comes with a hidden cost. See, those emotions we suppress don't just magically vanish. They have to go somewhere. And believe me, they will always find a way to resurface.
And this is exactly how that cost can show up in our day-to-day lives. Maybe it's that constant nagging fatigue you just can't shake. Or maybe you find yourself getting incredibly irritated by the smallest things. For some people, it's more like a general numbness, like the color has been drained out of life. And for others, it's those sudden, confusing spikes of emotion that seem to come out of absolutely nowhere.
Here's the fundamental problem. Suppression doesn't build any emotional muscle. You're not actually learning to handle more. You're just tightening your grip. So, what happens when life gets really tough, when the pressure is really on? That whole system is incredibly fragile. It's brittle. It doesn't have more room to cope. It actually has less.
Okay, so if that's the myth, what's the reality? Let's flip the script and talk about what a healthier, more resilient, and genuinely powerful definition of emotional stability actually looks like.
First things first, let's get this perfectly clear. True emotional stability is not about becoming a robot. It is not about wiping your feelings off the map or getting rid of your natural human reactions to life.
What it is about is connection. It's the ability to feel that wave of anger, or that pit of fear, or that rush of sadness rise up inside you, and to stay present with yourself right through it. You don't get swept away by the emotion, but you also don't abandon yourself by suppressing it. You stay connected.
So here it is, the new goal. A truly stable person still feels everything. The difference is that the emotions can move through them without taking over the driver's seat. This is what builds genuine resilience. Your recovery time from tough moments gets way shorter, and you suddenly have more choices in how you respond because you aren't just stuck between exploding or shutting down.
So as we wrap up our look at Shyamala Tan's work, I want to leave you with a really powerful idea to think about. It's a question that really gets to the heart of this entire conversation.
I want you to really think about your own journey. That sense of calm you might be feeling in your life, is it coming from a genuine expansion of your ability to hold life's challenges, or is it coming from a subtle, maybe even unconscious, disconnection from your own inner world? The answer to that question reveals the true nature of your stability. Thanks for watching.